I am a 90s baby, which means I understand and acknowledge the universal truths of being a kid in the 90s and early 2000s. Number 1. Arnold had the absolute dopest room in the world, and you cannot deny that. Number 2, Linkin Park's Hybrid Theory was a genre-bending masterpiece that my parents hated. And number 3, the Pokemon Company had and still has a death grip on your wallet and your soul,
and they will never let go.
What's up? You didn't relate to anything I just said? Well, we can all agree that Pokemon was and is a big deal. For more than 25 years, Pokemon has been a household name in many countries across the world. Your grandparents may not know who Link or Master Chief are, but you can bet your ass they recognize Pikachu. Pokemon had a massive effect on my childhood. I played the games, watched the show, collected the cards. I even had not one, but 2 Mewtwo's in Pokemon Yellow. Don't believe me? Here they are. Do not fuck with me. As I got older, naturally I grew out of Pokemon a little bit, but it was always there, and every few years it would find its way back into my life. In 2016, Pokemon Go got me out of the house and walking around more than I had in years. I actually left a party one time to walk down the street and catch a Porygon, and I am not ashamed of that in the slightest. A couple years later, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu reignited my love for the series by giving my favorite game in the series, Pokemon Yellow, a fresh coat of paint. And in 2020, when celebrities and YouTubers were spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on first edition Pokemon cards, I lost sleep over the fact that I sold my collection at a garage sale for like $2. I had a Holo Charizard, and I will never forgive myself. Now, if you haven't clicked off this video yet, you're probably wondering where I'm going with all this nostalgia bullshit. The point I'm trying to make is that Pokemon means a lot to me, as it probably does to a lot of you. And because of that, I've always had a dream of what I believe the perfect Pokemon game would be. A massive open world where you're free to explore and interact with Pokemon however you want. This is not that, but it kind of is. I don't know, let's get into it. Pokemon Legends Arceus, I still don't know, someone let me know in the comments, is as close to my dream Pokemon game as the series has ever been. Finally, interacting with Pokemon doesn't consist of walking through the tall grass, randomly encountering 900 Rattatas, and having to watch a cutscene before either attacking or running away. Pokemon roam the world freely, and you can actually choose how to approach. You can sneak up on them and throw a Pokeball to try and catch them. You can throw your own Pokemon to start a battle and move around as the battle takes place in front of you. Or you can just entirely avoid them if you want to. It's absolutely the most fun part of this game, and the biggest change to the overall formula of the series. Eventually you unlock mounts that you can summon at any time that allow you to run, fly, climb, and swim basically anywhere in the world, which is great, especially considering that your character can't climb a small hill or step up onto a knee-high ledge without help. Just lift your leg, you lazy bitch. When it comes to Pokemon you've already caught, the battle and training mechanics basically haven't changed since the original games. You can still only carry 6 Pokemon at a time, they each only know 4 moves at a time, and when you win a battle, everyone in the party gets a little slice of that XP pizza pie. One addition to this mechanic is that when a Pokemon masters a move, they can now use that move in either strong style or agile style. Strong style is more powerful and deals more damage but has a longer cooldown, while agile style is quicker and less likely for your opponent to avoid. Speaking of moves, there are actually decent animations now for the attacks used in battle. I don't know if they've been doing this in more recent games because I didn't play them, but for example, when your Pokemon uses Flame Wheel, they are literally surrounded by a ring of fire, charge at their enemy, and explode on impact. This game even has boss battles. Well, kinda. Had to switch hands, this one was getting tired. You have to use your Dark Souls S tuck and roll to avoid their attacks, and then just spam them with balm sacks until they calm down enough to battle. When not in battle, you can still let your Pokemon out of their prison ball for some fresh air, or use them to collect items for you that you don't have room for, so you have to go to this guy and spend $8,000 so he can teach you how to fit one more thing in your bag. Just let me buy a bigger satchel. This is the section of the video where I would usually go over the major events of the story. But the thing is, I don't give a shit about this story. There's a reason I didn't put a spoiler warning on this video. I straight up did not pay attention to anything that was happening. Pokemon finally got away from the kid going out on his own to be the best at animal fighting, whose mom is weirdly okay with. Do better, mom. For a story where you are a 15-year-old kid in modern times that falls through a rift in the space-time continuum to the time where they're just starting to discover and study Pokemon. You're found by a professor who tasks you with catching 3 Pokemon, and upon completion it is unanimously decided that you are the best Pokemon trainer there ever was, and you're immediately given a job on the Survey Corps, who go out and research and catch new Pokemon in the wild. Huh? You catch 3 low-level Pokemon, and then everyone whose job it is to catch Pokemon decide that you, a 15-year-old kid, are the chosen one who will save them from the black holes in the sky that are driving all the noble Pokemon crazy. Now, when you first hear that, I can understand where you'd think, okay, they're telling a more complex story than usual, and they're raising the stakes a little bit. But the problem does not lie with the story itself. The problem lies with how you experience the story. Yeah, this is it. There is so much dialogue in this game, and every syllable of it is through text. I actively tried to avoid story missions because I knew at some point I would have to stop and click through 50 lines of the most boring conversation in existence. I know I'm absolutely not the first person to say this, but Pokemon needs voice acting. It doesn't even have to be good voice acting. Just find some people on Craigslist and put them in a recording booth, because anything is better than reading through full paragraphs that could have been 2 lines. Oh, the visuals. Before we get into this, I should probably acknowledge that basically everything I'm about to say has already been said by like every YouTuber who's reviewed this game, but I still feel like it needs to be said. This world is so disappointing. Every aspect of it is so bland and lifeless. There is nothing interesting going on in this world besides the Pokemon, and even they just kind of stand around until you do something. When they first announced this game last year, I put up an Instagram post talking about how it didn't look good, but maybe it would look better by launch day. That absolutely did not happen. That was the finished product. And I don't want anyone watching to think I was expecting next-gen graphics with ray tracing and shit. I understand the Switch has limitations, but this isn't about graphics. This is about art direction. And it's very clear that very little effort went into that. As is customary with reviews of this game, we have to compare it to Breath of the Wild, because that's kind of the gold standard of an open world Switch game. It's not in 4K with hyper-realistic detail, but you can tell that they put time and effort into refining and polishing the cel-shaded environments, and it really shows. And that game came out 5 years ago. Now imagine if Pokemon, the highest grossing media franchise of all time, put the same attention and care into Arceus. This would be a very different review. I understand that not all $110 billion, Jesus Christ, can be allocated to video games, but the Pokemon Company definitely had the money to spare to give this game the time and attention it deserved. Even after all the negative feedback I've just given, my overall opinions on this game are still pretty mixed. On the one hand, Pokémon Legends is the most fun iteration of this series formula that we have ever seen. Even now, I'm excited to finish this video so that I can play it more. But on the other hand, it is a rushed, unfinished, and downright disappointing addition to a series of games that seems to be treading water rather than swimming forward. If the Pokemon Company was less focused on profit and more focused on making games that have grown with their fan base, I believe they could make something truly special. I sincerely hope that Pokemon and Game Freak will finally take their fans' words to heart, take a few years off of the yearly release window that they're stuck in, and deliver a game that doesn't look like a GameCube launch title. But anyway guys, that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments if you agreed or disagreed with any of the points I made in this video. I know that Pokemon is a series that means a lot to a lot of people, so I would love to continue the conversation. Be sure to like and subscribe, follow us on Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, and Hover. We also have a Discord now, so you can come chat with us in there. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.